like I got three computers in my brain. One pays attention to work, one pays attention to family, and the third pays attention to fun with Game Up Hard Hydration. It's
There
your
you go.
favorite seltzer, your favorite sports drink, got together, had a baby, but it's so much better. Tell them why we love Game Up.
Dude, we got four great flavors. Let's start off with that. We got fruit punch, we got orange, we got lemon lime, your personal favorite grape. And guys, it's only 110 calories per can. It's low carb. If that's not enough reason to buy Game Up, buy it because they're our sponsor. Come on.
And they have sponsored the 5th year of the Working Fans podcast. But Dave, it is about that time of year again. I believe the date is September 29th of the first episode. What a long road it's been. What changes have come. What are your thoughts on 5 years? Did you even realize it?
Nope. Actually, when I got in the studio and I saw 5th year anniversary, the way my brain works, I didn't even really read the whole thing. And I thought, oh, yeah, the 5th year of AEW Dynamite's coming up. I'm like, why didn't we talk about this yesterday as one of the subjects? I don't remember doing that. But I'm like, whatever, he wants to go with it. And then you said right before we went on 5 years, and I'm like, oh, us, shit. I was like, damn, that snuck up on me. It doesn't feel like 5 years at all in a lot of ways. You know, like there are times when things will drag, but for the most part, I'd say this 5 years has flown by. And it's wild to think that because, you know, we both have lost parents throughout this thing. And we've had some very interesting moments, whether it's interviewing, you know, special guests, whether it's like, you know, me, my current relationship and the kids in my life, you know, this stuff out of work and stuff like just happening like on the podcast. It's just been a wild, wild ride. Shit, I hope it's just beginning, honestly.
You talk about how wild the 5th year was. We've been putting in this work for so much time. This is the first year I think we realized that summers and this podcast are almost incompatible. You know, right now we're putting ourselves back into a content creation circle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, life is so much different since when we started this. Even just the structure of the podcast. I don't know if we've talked about it publicly, but there was a text to a group text this year that I accidentally sent that, you know, really fucked things up. And AJ realized like he could do the thing more part-time. And, you know, I felt terrible about that, but it did kind of, you know, it settled things out where been coming out more consistently. We're going to have AJ on the watch alongs. We've talked about it in private. I don't know how much we've brought it up publicly, but I wanted to bring it up because it was a big change to this podcast. It did, you know, it's the beginning of this era, which has been shorts coming out daily, videos coming out almost daily, live shows, watch-alongs. I've been going back and listening to old segments we've done where remember when we were just the phone on your kitchen table, Dave? Mm-hmm. And then we decided to move to the podcast room. And then we caught up with Everything Entertainment and became a video podcast. And that started things. But this year has been our biggest growth. Like February to May, we had unreal growth. And, you know, that's just the business of things, I guess.
And TikTok has definitely been a real fun source, too, for us as well. They've really come on strong. And, you know, even though I think they were stronger in that time period you mentioned, but like, I think we've realized, too, that there's a lot of potential growth there.
It's just like anything. If you want the garden to grow, you have to water it. And I've noticed that going away from TikTok, we have to get that work back in, to get that audience back with us. People still are fans of us there, people that watched us earlier in the year. But to start gaining new people, it's just putting that hustle back in.
It's kind of funny. You talked to me about Patreon yesterday afterwards and what might be interesting for like a Patreon. And I guess I'll just tell you this on air because I had a thought. Because at first I was thinking like, I don't know what the fuck we're going to do, you know, but then I thought about it. Like, you know, especially on TikTok, we've seen some growth there. And, you know, anyone listening to us on YouTube as well, though, I think Patreon, we could do some tiers where if you're interested, you know, and you want to give us X amount of money, we'll figure that out later, and you want to be on our Patreon, that maybe we could do stuff where we could have you on the podcast for episodes. Maybe you could sit on a roundtable discussion, like on these In Your House or some of these other pay-per-view events we've done, or maybe just a topic you want to talk about. Maybe there could be a tier where you pick a topic that we could talk about and we could have that discussion, whatever it is. If you're going to give us money, we'll talk about whatever, Chris Benoit, you name it, Well, I mean, we don't really shy away from stuff anyway too much here, but, usually it's got to be worth my interest. But if you're willing to cough up with some dough and you think we're worth it, then hell yeah, I'll give you the platform and love to talk to you about it. So.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe on one tier, do an extra recording a week. We've been doing these show reviews. Maybe the show reviews move to the basic level of Patreon. Then yours could be the next level up. We're talking Patreon because in the 5 years, the only way we've gotten money is Game Up Hard Hydration. And we want to get better at bringing something in.
Not a crazy amount on TikTok, but for the shout out to the people, there have been people who've donated some money to us on TikTok.
Oh yeah, TikTok has come through as well. Social media and Game Up, that's the only things that have paid us. And
if you haven't tried Game Up, then you are missing out. Imagine your favorite seltzer and your favorite sports drink had a baby, but it's way better than that. Each can is 110 calories, low carb, 4.9 ABV. It's a nice light drink that is not light on flavor. Game Up comes in fruit punch, orange, lemon, lime, and grape. Pick it up at drinkgameup.com or at your nearest liquor store.